Okay. Hey guys, it's Renee, and I've done this intro before. We are going to do a tag. Well, not a tag, but it's kind of a thing we came up with. It could turn into a tag. We picked the 7 deadly sins, and we're gonna do a makeup for each of them, like one video a week for the next 7 weeks, I guess, or whatever. But we tried recording this, and I edited one video, and because I am a genius, I did not upload them to the rest of the files to my computer before I cleared the card. So there's one video that's finished, but we're gonna count that one as just kind of like an extra tidbit, so you get to have that one. This, as you know, this is Gregory. This is my bestie, and we're gonna try and film this again. But he found some questions that we're gonna ask that are focusing on pride, and we're just gonna ask them to each other and just chit chat while we do our makeup, and then at the end you'll see our makeup. So yeah,
it probably works out for the best this way too. The first video we did was more like a vlog, and it wasn't really focused on pride.
Yeah.
This way I guess we can see where we went wrong. Also, I'm like got half foundation on, so I look like fucking Danny Phantom. So excuse that.
This is going to be good.
The first of the questions that I'm going to ask is, do you look down on those who are less educated, less affluent, less refined, or less successful than yourself?
No, I don't.
Okay, you ain't prideful.
No! Like, I don't, even when, like, I was younger, I didn't really think that, because I've not ever been, like, really on top of stuff. So, like, I've never seen a reason to do that, I guess. Like, I used to be young and ignorant, admittedly, but, like, that was one thing that I never really, I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Did you?
When I was younger, I do think that Right. I was an asshole as a little kid. I was a little judgmental kid because I was short and fat, and I felt insecure with myself, and I was kind of angry.
You were outwardly
yeah. And I wasn't obviously mean, but kids make fun of people, you know, like you can't stop that, and I did that, and sometimes I feel bad that I did that, but now, like, looking back, I'm like, oh, I was a kid. I don't do it now, of course. I don't look down on people, but I used to. So.
I think it's a good thing, because, like, I mean, like, number one, I wouldn't hang out with you.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing that we can admit when we did stupid stuff, because, like, that's the whole point about when you grow up. You learn, and you don't do stupid stuff anymore. Like, and if you still do that stuff, and you meet someone who doesn't do that stuff, that person's just kind of like, did I used to be like that? Was that me? And as far as I remember, I don't think I did. I know I wasn't a horrible kid, but I would think horrible things. So even if I did think something, I wouldn't just go and make fun of people. But, like, I don't think I was just that outwardly rude or that much of an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't really an asshole. It was more just like I didn't have a filter, because everybody thinks mean things. I just said them. Isn't different from me now. I'm just more bitchy than I am mean about it.
Yeah.
So.
That makes sense. Next question. Do you think of yourself as more spiritual than your mate, or others in your church?
Mate, yes. I don't go to church. I used to. A little backstory. I grew up Pentecostal.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. My boyfriend is not religious at all. He's not spiritual. He actually considers himself to be an atheist. I'm pretty spiritual. I used to be Wiccan and pagan, and I still kind of dabble with it, but I know that's not really something you should dabble with. You shouldn't consider yourself to be a dabbler. But I'm still very spiritual, and I think things in a universe type way. And I know you kind of think that way too, but
yeah, like I don't go to church either. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not comfortable with church. It every church I've been to, it's always more so been about telling people that they're wrong for like literally everything they do and judging people, even though that's literally what it says not to do in the book that they're worshiping. Well, they say they're not worshiping the book, but you are, because you literally, most of the time, people take everything in that book for like literal context, and that's not something I want. But I do feel I'm not very religious, but I do agree with the spiritual part. Like, even though I don't like go to church, I feel like you don't have to go to church to have a good What, did you die? I don't feel like you have to go to church to have a connection with God, because I feel like God is everywhere. And sometimes I'll just like chill in my house and like I feel like I get to talk to him when I just sit and reflect with myself, because I feel like God is in everyone. And I don't need to go to a building that like tells me these rules and stuff just to have that connection. If you feel comfortable
And
going to
asks for your
church,
money too.
yeah, like I'm not comfortable with it. But if you like going to church and if you've had a good experience with church, that's not me knocking it, but most of the churches I've been to, it's literally always been about, oh, you have to do exactly this to have a connection with God. You can't wear this, you can't say this, you can't associate with these people. And pretty sure Jesus taught love and acceptance to everyone.
One of his main hoes was a fucking prostitute. So
one of his main hoes was a hoe. So like Mary Magdalene, y'all get what I'm saying. I just don't. But I feel spiritual. I think we both agree on that. And I like that since even though we don't have the same like spirituality-ness, like you used to be Wiccan, we can agree on like stuff like that. We don't feel the need, like it's just a thing that happens. I don't feel the need to just be like, oh well, you should do this, and he's not trying to pressure me into doing something. We just exist together. We coexist, and that's it.
It's exactly how it should be. People should coexist and stop creating fucking religious wars. But that's a whole different topic, and I'm not gonna go in there.
Yeah, let's not do that. You wanna ask the second question? I can't. Y'all missed something because I'm not saying what, but you missed it.
Have a judgmental spirit towards those who don't make the same lifestyle choices you do. Dress standards, how you school your kids, how you school your kids, entertainment standards, etc. That's kind of like what we just talked about.
But like, I don't have kids. I don't know if I want kids. I'm pretty sure right now I don't want kids. But like, when I was younger, I used to be one of those kids who was raised up where I thought that like, oh, it was especially for other girls. And I used to be one of those kids where it was like, oh, she dresses really provocatively and stuff like that. But then when I got into high school, and there were like, I can't remember who it was, but there was this girl and everyone would talk about her because apparently she had slept with so many guys and stuff in high school. And at one point I was just like, who gives a fuck? No one's talking about the guy who like has supposedly had sex with all these girls, but as soon as someone finds out that this one girl had sex a few times, or like because she dresses a certain way, she automatically is provocative or something. At that point I was just like, I don't care. And like, I'm happy that I had that turning point, so then I wouldn't be as salty as some of the people who still exist today who are like, oh, she dresses so provocatively, or oh, she dresses so conservatively, she must be so boring and prudish. And it's like, no, that's a comfort level. I mean, sometimes I like having my boobs show out of a top, because let's be honest, I have great boobs. I think I have great boobs. You can't see them now because they're in the shirt, but sometimes I like letting them see the world every now and then. And then sometimes I'm just like, nope, we have to keep them covered because it's too cold for that. And that's within my right. I am a person and you are a person. You are an adult. No matter what gender you are, if you have boobs or you don't have boobs, wear what you want. I don't care. I don't care.
Stop judging me or anybody else for it.
Seriously, because you don't know me. Based on what I'm wearing, you don't know anything about me. And I hate when people say dress how you want to be addressed. If I'm walking down the street and my boobs are showing, are you really assuming that just because that one particular day you saw me in like a tight dress that I'm a prostitute? If you do, that's stupid. You don't know what I'm like in my workplace. You don't know what I'm doing in my actual life. There's no reason. And even if I was a prostitute, that's still no reason to judge me, because some people just have to do stuff and some people just want to be sex workers. I don't want to be a sex worker, but if you are, more power to you. It ain't none of my business. That's your life. I just don't judge people. It's stupid. I'm mad.
I agree. My mom and I, like I said, I grew up Pentecostal, and my mom was Pentecostal. She doesn't really necessarily believe the Pentecostal view. Like, she'll wear pants and she'll cut her hair and stuff like that. But she was saying something about being a hoe before, I can't remember. And I just looked at her and I said, there ain't nothing wrong with that. That ain't. She's talking about some other girl she saw on Facebook or something. And I said, there ain't nothing wrong with that. That's her life. She do what she wants. And she just looked at me and said, why can't you, like, why are you always against what me and your dad tried to teach you? And I said,
you teach me to judge people?
Exactly. Why are you teaching me to judge people? And I explained that to her, and she kind of thought about it for a minute, and she was like, I mean, I guess you're right. Like, it's not my business to judge her or say anything about it. So, yeah, I don't judge people. I do, like, mentally, but I
think there's a level. I think there was a quote I saw, and it was like, people usually think two things. The first thing you think is what society tells you to think, and then the second thing after that is what makes you who you are. So initially, if you see someone and you're like, oh, that she shouldn't wear that, or he shouldn't wear that because of however, and then after if you reevaluate yourself, because I've done that before, like, I'll see someone who wears something, not like I think that they're a hoe, but I'll like, that doesn't fit their like body shape or something, and then I'll be like, Taisha, who the fuck do you think you are? And I'm like, you know what, you're right, you live your life. I might not wear that, but you go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want, because that's your body. Exactly. And I feel like you learn to appreciate differences in people more, because everyone has their own comfort level and everyone can do whatever the hell they want. Did you put good God,
I'm getting my pattern all over everything.
Are you quick to find fault with others and to verbalize those thoughts to others?
Yeah, this I do this, maybe not for people that I don't know, like, 'cause I just don't give a shit, but my boyfriend, I will think things sometimes that it's just like, you're doing this, you're doing that. And a lot of times, maybe not a lot of times, but some of the times it's me too, and I don't want to see it. But, yeah. Basically, yeah. I do try.
It says, are you quick to do it, or are you quick to find? I am not. I feel like, cause the way I grew up, I was always picked on in school, and I would always wonder, like, what am I doing for people to pick on me? And so it made me think, well, what's something going on in people's lives and stuff? Now, I don't hold that true all the time, because sometimes it's like, even if something's going on in your life, you don't take it out on other people, but I digress. I've taken that lesson to be like, well, people are raised differently, and there's a lot of stuff that people don't know, so if they say something that I don't agree with, well, I try to give them time to, the option to explain, well, why they think that. I don't automatically think, oh, you're stupid because you don't agree, or you're dumb because you disagree, or you don't think the same way as I am. Everyone was raised differently, and I'll give you a chance if it's a reasonable argument. Because some arguments, admittedly, like, they don't make any sense. There's no point to be that and have that kind of animosity about certain stuff. But like, if someone just, like, if we're watching TV and someone says something I don't agree with, I'll be like, well, I mean, like, well, why do you think that? Like, I let them explain, and it's not like I'm doing it to like prove them wrong. It's like I want to see it from a different perspective. And I also learned that lesson because there was one time my friend Steffi, I remember this, my friend Steffi, we were at the lunch table or something, and I think it was our other friends, our friend Sam, she mentioned something that Steffi did that would like make her feel bad. And I talked to Steffi about it, and then, what was it? I can't remember what it was, but, I was talking to Steffi, and then I was like, well, could you not do that? And Steffi was like, well, let me explain why I do it, so that way you understand that it doesn't come from the place that you think it does. Yeah. And I've held that lesson because admittedly when she was first trying to tell me, I was like, I don't care what it is, just don't do it. Yeah. And after thinking about it, and I was like, that's a perfectly good reason why she would do it. Steffi would say random facts like in addition to what someone was saying, and admittedly I think Sam and me, I honestly don't remember, but Sam's the one who brought it up. Sam said that it makes her feel like Steffi thinks that she's dumb, and it didn't. And Steffi explained to me, she was like, when I was in school, I think she said she would say something and then people would correct her on it. So Steffi was like, well, if I say it in addition to that, they won't have to go through feeling like they're stupid because they didn't know. Like if someone else asked them, then they'd know. And I was like, that's a perfectly good reason why you would do that. I think the thing is, communication and clarification are very important, because if I would have just like kept telling Steffi I didn't care what it was, I would have never gained that understanding, and I don't think Steffi and I would be as close as we are now, and I don't think I would have a lot of the friends I have now. So if you're watching this, Steffi, thank you for that moment of understanding, because I needed it.